James Williams, five-star All-American safety from American Heritage, who has previously played at Monsignor Pace and Heritage and Western, and then back to Heritage now, committed to Miami. He's a top 5 or 10 player in this class. He's the number 1 or 2 player in the state of Florida. Number 1 in Florida, number 1 safety overall. He's gigantic. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. And he's been that big since like 8th or 9th grade. He's always been that 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" range since he made his way up to the high school level. So people have talked about him potentially moving to outside back or even defensive end, just because, if you're 6'4", 195 pounds as a freshman, you figure, whoa, this kid's going to be Greg Russo sized. But he's long maintained. James Williams, when anybody said that he's going to move down closer to the box or closer in the line of scrimmage, that he says, no, I'm a safety. That's it. I want to be Sean Taylor, an even larger Sean Taylor, larger athlete physically, because Sean Taylor was like 6'3", 220. So yeah, this guy's same weight, but 2 inches taller and probably going to get heavier. But he's everybody's All-American. He's the prototype. I mean, he's better than the prototype, because the prototype, you would say, okay, 6'3", 210 pounds, because you don't expect to get guys 6'5", 6'6" at safety. So yeah, he's even larger than that. Uncommonly talented, uncommon size in the positive way of those words. And Tuesday night, he made the night happen. So I went over to my local taqueria to get my normal Taco Tuesday dinner, which I've religiously done every Tuesday night, pretty much. And I come back and I was on the phone with a friend of mine and we're just chopping it up. And I look on Twitter, I go, wait, well, I gotta go. They're like, well, I was like, I gotta turn into a sports blogger right now. They're like, well, I was like, yeah, no, I gotta go. Because I stepped out for a minute and then all of a sudden, James Williams is back in the class, and that's huge. I mean, literally and figuratively. James Williams is the kind of player that Miami's not gotten recently. He's the kind of player that, Georgia, his other named finalist, that everybody thought he was going to. All of the crystal ball predictions said he's going to Georgia. That's the kind of player that Georgia comes and gets, LSU comes and gets, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, whomever comes down to South Florida and plucks out the top of the recruiting base. They're not going to get everybody. You're going to have really good players come to Miami, but those teams would always come in and vulture at the top of the pickings. And for Miami to secure a James Williams, it's just absolutely massive. Shout out to Ephraim Bonda, tweeted out a picture or a GIF video of a bartender serving up drinks because he was once the manager of a bar, and opposing fans will say, oh yeah, the bartender, he missed out on whoever, the bartender. Blah, blah. So he put up the GIF. It was like serving up the haters. And I was like, yo, talk your stuff, because you got Avante Williams away from Florida. Everybody thought he was going to Florida. You get James Williams. You get Cam Kinchins before that. I mean, just the recruiting at safety has been elite. And that's Ephraim Bonda, 100%. Obviously, there's other coaches who have been involved. Stephen Field with the Northwestern guys, because he went to Northwestern and coached at Northwestern. You have Manny Diaz in with James Williams, just because when you're going to get a player of this caliber, you're going to have the head coach involved in this recruitment. But a lot of the credit goes to Ephraim Bonda. So shout out to him. But yeah, this is this is just the latest commit from a blue chip player from the local area. He's one of the best ones around in the country. Again, a top 10 rated player overall in this recruiting class. You cannot speak highly enough about the job that was done to get James Williams back in this class. So if you're looking at the last few commitments in a row, you have Romello Brinson, All-American from Miami Northwestern, whose video had my voice in it. And then after that, you get, what's his name? Who went next? Cam Kinchins from Northwestern, and then Jabari Ishmael from Columbus, and then James Williams. That's 4-star, 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 5-star from Miami Northwestern, Miami Columbus, and then, James Williams lives in Opelika, but he goes to American Heritage. Yo, you know what I mean? If you're talking about recruiting local, boom, that's that. If you're talking about getting elite players to stack on top of elite players, boom, that's that. If you're talking about relationships over time being the thing that pays off, boom, there's that. And you can look back to Avante Williams, who openly said, yeah, it was the relationship with the coaches at Miami that made me the most comfortable. And an anecdote that goes on top of that with James Williams, he was actually up in Georgia last weekend supporting his cousin at an event in College Park. So everybody's like, oh, okay, cool. He's up there, around the Georgia campus. He maybe went over there again, not on a visit, but I mean, you can still walk around the campus. So you're still, wow, okay, this is another time of him being up in Georgia. All the dots are connected, follow the visits. He's up there doing this, saying that, blah, 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 blah. 2 days later, nah, fam, called Miami in the morning. Manny Diaz put up the tweet, apparently, of the eyeball emoji while I was getting out or going out and getting tacos. I missed it, but he put that up a couple minutes before James Williams dropped his tweet. Yo, work was done. So, and especially with the close proximity to another time that he was up there in Georgia, it's a massive, massive, massive recruiting win. Just massive.
Yeah, so this is what I think of, and you're going to be able to elaborate on this so much more, is that, yes, the player on the field and what he is potentially and most likely going to be, it's not a 100% certainty, but it's a strong likely that he's going to be an all ACC / All America type player. Okay, so the win on the field is paramount, the impact on the field. But beyond that, the juice it gives the program, the juice it gives the staff, the mojo, the confidence to go into the next place, and then obviously the attention that it gets and the implications or influence to other high-level players to say something must be going on there. I got to give them a better look. And if he's going there, then, yeah, that must be the place to be.
But then again, it's not just James Williams. Again, Jabari Ishmael, 4-star All-American, 6'5", 215-pound defensive end. Before that, Cam Kinchins, one of the best safeties in America from Miami Northwestern. 5'11", 205. Then before that, Romello Brinson, 4-star All-American wide receiver, Miami Northwestern. If you look back at all the recent run of commitments, each and every one of them has been that kind of commitment where, just like you're talking about, hey, maybe I need to pay attention, because it is not just, and now this is the biggest of them, okay, but all of them in the recent run have been, wow, Romello Brinson? Okay. Oh, Cam Kinchins? Okay. Whoa, Jabari Ishmael? Each and every one has been that kind of thing. So, yeah, Miami is on, NBA Jam level fire. You know what I mean? He's heating up. He's on fire. Everywhere that we go, everything that we've done, and it's really spun forward from this signing day. It really started off with Avante Williams, and that is not a thing that was a short run recruitment. That was a thing where Avante Williams personally said, this is a 4-year relationship, because he committed to Miami the spring of his freshman year, the same day that his cousin, Lorenzo Lingard, as a high school junior at that time, committed to Miami. So this is a connection that he's had with these coaches. Even when Avante Williams decommitted, Miami stayed the course, and just said, cool, that's all right. That's okay. We're going to be here. We're still going to talk. We're going to communicate. We're going to let you know that this is the place for you to be. And if you choose to go somewhere else, hey, all right, I understand it, but I think that this is the best place for you. So that whole 4 years worth of recruiting going forward paid off. And then you're seeing stacking of other players ever since signing day is hit. And it's even a longer list than just those 4. But yeah, this momentum has been going for a while. Obviously, these relationships have started to bear fruit. There has, I think, been maybe part of the pandemic playing a role here, where maybe guys do want to stay home, or they, see, okay, I could go these other places, but I want to be here. I want to be around my family and things like that. Maybe just that the changing world perception has opened their minds up in ways, but also the staff is selling ice to Eskimos. You know what I mean? It's tough. You have a 6 and 7 season, like we talked about last week, and everything. There are things on the field, structurally and foundationally and performance-wise with this program, that every team in America can negative recruit against. Did you see the game against FIU? Because I did. You want to go play there? You see the game against Duke? You see the game against Virginia Tech where they spotted them 35 points in the first quarter? That was pretty terrible. Did you see the bowl game where they're the only team who got shut out in any bowl game this last year? There's plenty of things where you can negative recruit, but this staff is saying, I don't care about that. That's fine. And again, recruiting is like dating. It'd be like, okay, well, she has a preference of a guy who's 6'5". I'm 5'10". but I'm confident. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to buy her a drink. I'm going to chat her up. Everything cool. I'm going to get the number. I'm going to be authentic to myself, because that is the biggest thing. And I think that's what the staff is doing. And you're seeing with all of these commitments and all of these blue chip players. I mean, you got to have what, 60, 70% of this class blue chip. And then if you take, the kicker in this class, Andres Borregales from Hollywood Chaminade Madonna, he's the #1 ranked kicker in this class. So by Corn Blue Kicking, Cole's Kicking, and the other kicking service, all 3 kicking services that are worth their salt in the world of kicking, he's a 5-star All-American, #1 rated recruit. So even the specialists that you get, okay, in terms of everybody, he's going to be rated a 5-star. But in terms of what he does, he's the #1 5-star. He's a 3-star in consideration of every position, a 5-star in consideration of kicking. So for me, that's even raising the level of blue chip anyway. You know what I mean? Like, this staff right now, they're on a heater and they're not getting up from the table. So, hey, just keep dealing, because I'm going to keep cashing in.
It's a point that kind of breaks up the mojo of this conversation, but I wonder why that can't be adjusted. Why wouldn't we adjust the specialist rating to rate them in line with everybody else? If you get the top kicker in the country, he's probably a 5-star.
Right. I mean, but yeah, it's just a thing where you're talking about, positional value, I guess, or, just in terms of like, okay, he's only going to play 7 snaps, but like we saw last year and the year before, you have the kicker that's not able to do the job, you get some L's. Hey, look, even Alabama, in the run of losses that they've had, which is not many, you can pretty much point to the kicker not getting the job done. So, yeah, maybe that would be a thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and just to belabor the point, yeah, there are typically 20 to 25 field goals attempted by any particular kicker in FBS, and you got guys hitting like 22 of 25, and you got other guys hitting like 14 of 25. It's a huge difference.
Like Bubba Baxa at Miami, you know what I mean? Like, we can go there. Like, you don't have to look far. We can look into the rearview mirror from last year when, Bubba Baxa was quite poor and then got yanked off of that because he wasn't even hitting that amount of kicks. So, yeah.